Welcome back, everybody, to the NCAA Football 2006 SMU Death Penalty Dynasty. We are checking in here. It is the start of Season 11. So you can see in the bottom right there, it's the 2015 season. So we're getting pretty deep into this thing. We got the Big 12 promotion, and this is going to be our first year of Big 12 play. So I just want to go over some of the scheduling that we're going to do, some of the preseason nods, and then go over a little bit of the roster and maybe some surprises. We'll see how it goes. First things first, we'll check on the preseason polls. We are preseason number 3 in the country. A overall, B plus offense, A plus defense, A minus special teams. So the pollsters think pretty highly of us. That makes us the technically best team in the conference. If you switch to Conference Outlook, you can always check that out. We are favored to win the Big 12 over Colorado and Nebraska. So weirdly enough, you have 4 teams in the Big 12 North of the top 4, and then you get A&M and Oklahoma and Texas and Oklahoma State. So there's a little bit of imbalance, and apparently it's in the North. So just like the 90s, at least in the middle part of it. That's interesting. So we go to preseason All-Americans here. You're going to see Casimir Walker. It's your redshirt wide receiver senior here. He's listed on here. So we scroll down. Do we have anybody else? I do see Corey Sisk is listed on here as well. So pretty interesting stuff there. Really excited about that. I'm going to switch my properties up on my video here while I'm doing this. So apologies to everybody while I do this real quick. Shouldn't take too long. But yeah, we got a few preseason All-Americans there. We're favored to win the conference, which is pretty interesting on our first go, but it looks like with our A overall, B plus offense, and A plus defense that we're in pretty good shape to do so. So that's pretty cool. Very excited about that. Let's go to the second team. Do we have anybody? There's a quarterback for Nebraska on there. None on the second team. If we go to the All Big 12, we do have Casimir Walker again. Anybody else? Corey, big secondary. You got Chris Barrett, Corey Sisk, and Cameron White. So you got a corner, a free safety, and a strong safety there, fully represented in the first team. If you scroll down, anybody in the second team? Nobody in the second team. So we've got the 4 Big 12 all first team preseason and 2 All-Americans. So that's interesting. Anybody in the Heisman watch here? No, not yet. Colorado does, though. This Jay Bryant kid, Jr., he's out of Salida, Colorado, which I do know where that is. It's a little bit farther south of Highlands Ranch. You start getting in between Highlands Ranch and Castle Rock. There's a nice little highway that goes in between. Not a lot of people in Salida, so interesting. This kid's kind of out in the countryside out there. He decided to come to Colorado. Very cool. Good for him. He's number 2 on here. You have the quarterback we played last year in the Fiesta Bowl, Casey Jackson, who had a pretty rough day against us, if I recall. He's on this list as well. And I guess Ohio State already had a quarterback. Joey Jackson, this redshirt senior, he's 92 overall out of Wickliffe, Ohio. He was their guy, and maybe Eric Clark saw that and said, I don't want to deal with it. So we'll go to our preseason options here. I do want to do custom schedules. Currently, we have an A-plus roster, an A-plus strength of schedule. I do show that Kansas is our last game. Take a look at Kansas is our last conference game, and then we have one after it. There's an open spot there. I currently have Texas State. With the 4 spots that we have open, I really want to make a point to schedule teams that we would have used to play. North Texas is one of them. I do want to play some conference opponents. UAB is already on here. And then I'm gonna probably turn this into Houston and Rice, maybe Houston and TCU, and we'll go down here. We'll see what's left. I do want to play those teams just out of respect, since we were in the conference. We do want to play those teams still because that's a revenue generator for them. I'll go from the bottom and scroll up here in this particular week. We'll keep scrolling here and see if there's anybody that really comes to kind of pop out at us. You'll notice there's 2 mains. One's the Division I AA team, and one's the one that we created. Iowa's the team that we're trying to get rid of here. Anybody? I don't see anything. So we'll move on to week 5, see if we can find a TCU or a Rice or maybe even a UTEP. UTEP might not be a bad option either. Let's see here. So no UTEP, no TCU, and no Rice. Interesting. Okay. Let me look this week 4 again. I didn't scroll enough for UTEP, I don't think. UTEP would be an option as well. Maybe we could play them at the end of the year, because we had North Texas on there currently, but they weren't like a mainstay like these other teams were. Let's scroll down and see if we can find a TCU or a UTEP. Got a Marshall, Memphis, teams that we used to play there. Iowa State's now a Conference USA team. Generally, if I get promoted, I try to play the team that I got promoted from to try and give them a little bit of a boost. We obviously don't have that going on here. Let's move the UAB spot. Let's see what we can find here. There is UTEP. Okay, so let's see if we can find a UAB or something like that in this spot here. Maybe just another Conference USA team that we tend to play. Tulsa would be an option as well. I don't really see it here. This is interesting. I don't think they start conference play that early, but maybe they do. Maybe they do, and maybe we're just the ones starting it super late. Cal. So I just want to, again, fill this with one more Conference USA opponent. Or at the very least, maybe a team that we weren't playing all the time. Yeah, I tell you what, it is slim pickings out here. We currently have an A+ schedule. Okay, UTEP, Houston, and then 2 bye weeks. And then North Texas at the end. We're going to play a team in week 4 or week 5. I prefer week 4, so we have a bye week before heading up the road to Nebraska, which is going to be an interesting way to start conference, because that will be Iowa State's first conference game every year in this game, from what I recall. I would prefer it to be one of these teams in this week. Colorado State's an option if we want to keep it kind of in this region. I don't want to play Iowa. I kind of decided last year we were done. I don't want to play either one of the mains. New Mexico's an option. I don't play New Mexico a lot, but they are a neighboring state. This is interesting. I think we start conference play pretty late, and I think that's what's leading to kind of a lack of options here. I want to say maybe Conference USA's already started. Maybe this is their first week. Going through those options, I think the best option is like New Mexico. Colorado State, that's kind of gross. I don't have any familiarity with Colorado State in this particular dynasty. I have not played them at all. Maybe that opens some doors though. Just scheduling a different team. It kind of did. I see ECU on here, so that would be an option. So sometimes you just have to look. Like if you just change the teams just a little bit, sometimes that can open up the rest of your options here. San Diego State, Rutgers, Ohio State, Northwestern, New Mexico still, Michigan. I did see ECU, and I think that might be the play. So last year we traveled to ECU. That means they've come here. We traveled to Houston. No, we hosted Houston last year because we went to Rice. So we would go at Houston because that's what we owe. And the UTEP, we went to UTEP. So this would be in congruence with last year. In fact, let me just go ahead and confirm that. I just want to check my schedule from last year just to make sure I'm talking straight. I went to ECU so we can host in this year. We were at home against Houston, so we'll go to Houston, and we were at UTEP, so we'll host UTEP. UTEP was far and away our closest conference game last year, so I'm probably going to want to give us everything we want. We went to North Texas last year, and we host them. So if we go through the schedule, I'm going to count how many home games we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 home games, 5 road games. I think that's fair. I think that's fine. We're going to go ahead and keep this schedule. We got our redshirt players. I've already worked through this a little bit. I think I'm going to unredshirt and just try to go through it again here. But we'll start at the quarterback position. We're going to make a decision here, and I've been thinking about this since the off-season video. Clemens is an 85 overall. He's a sophomore. He's been in the program. He's got great speed, 85 throw power, 87 throw accuracy, 6'5", 220, big body duty. He has everything that we want. Yet, the throw power being 85, there are certain throws that he's not going to be able to make. We do throw the ball pretty deep, and that does require being able to throw the ball into windows or being able to throw the ball if a guy does beat coverage where he can get it. If a guy doesn't have that throw power, sometimes that ball can be underthrown, and that can lead to problems. Let's put it that way. We have such an excellent wide receiver crew that I want to be able to maximize them. I'm sitting here and I'm going, this guy's got all the tools. And furthermore, if I redshirt him, the way we tend to play quarterback, they tend to leave after a year or two. Like, if they're eligible to go, they go. Eric Clark is already a 65 awareness, 97 throw power, 84 throw accuracy. So the accuracy is barely worse than Clemens. It's good enough speed, 76, 76, 78. Obviously, Brad Johnson has great arm, 93, 89. He's got all those tools as well, but he only has 59 awareness. Eric Clark is, in my opinion, a generational quarterback on this game. I've never seen any 85 overall true freshman quarterback on this game in any dynasty I've ever done. Again, the highest I've ever seen is 84. I've never seen a quarterback top out at 85 unless I created Patrick Mahomes, which I have done on these dynasties before. I think we're going to play the freshman. And that means we get 3 years of him. With any luck, because he is coming in, he should be able to develop that accuracy pretty quickly. Because he'll play, his awareness will go up, and that will only help us moving forward. He'll have a chance to maybe even get a tick up before we get into conference play. I just feel like the ceiling here with that body type, 6'2", 245, that strength, break tackle. Obviously, Clemens has better break tackle, but doesn't quite have the strength. And the awareness and speed combo, with that 97 throw power, I just have not had that level of arm talent particularly often. The accuracy is going to come. We have so much talent at wide receiver this year. It's not that I'd be wasting it if I started Clemens, but I think we can get the most out of it with Clark. And so we're going to go with a true freshman. And that means that we get, if things go well, we'll get 3 full years of Eric Clark. And we don't usually get 3 full years of a quarterback this deep into a dynasty. And it might encourage me to stick around for an extra season. I don't know. I want to see what this kid can become. I think that's the big thing. And we'll probably change his number. We might change some stuff about his appearance in terms of like gear, what he's wearing, that type of thing. We might give him a cool visor or something like that. I'm not sure. But I think he's going to play. So I'm excited about that. Running back, we're going to leave this alone. I have no reason to touch any of this. I think Hart's the starter. I think Brown might actually be the down and distance back. He might be the actual starting running back, and then Hart's going to be the pass catcher out of the backfield. I think Hart's got a little bit more Brown has got a little bit more of the prototypical body type, 85 carry, 78 break tackle. It's a little bit worse than Hart, but he comes with 68 strength and pretty decent awareness. Already has the size and speed, has the same catch level, but Hart has better speed across the board. Brown doesn't quite have the stamina, which is a bummer. South is a decent enough back too. He can come in and do a job if need be. But I think Brown's your starter. I think Hart's the backup and he's the pass catcher. I just think that'll be a really good combo moving forward. We're going to redshirt Holt, and take a look at this. 93, 92, 92, 92. Crazy. We'll get into that in a second here. Redshirt and Freund, he's an 82 overall. We're redshirting the guards. They're both 82. We're redshirting the center, Waller, who's 78. Redshirt and Mackey, who's a 76. We did cut Ryan Wall. And we cut reserve offensive lineman as well. That's how we got down to 70. We're not redshirting any outside linebackers. We are going to redshirt Bryson Brown. He was the 3-star middle linebacker that we took while we were super excited about Nate Mills. But Bryson Brown ended up being a much better player. He's going to redshirt, and then he might make the move down here depending on how Cody Brown and Nigel Barnes do this year. If one of those guys, especially Cody Brown, 6'2", 246, 85 speed, he has all the tools to be just as good as Standback coming off that edge. So we're excited about that. If he's able to take that leap and jump to the pros, then it might just be it might just be Brown that moves and he's the next guy. And then we'll figure out middle linebacker at a different time. But Mills he's gonna play this year. Probably gonna be a reserve. Probably going to be reserve specialist. Corner, the 5-star Keith Williams is going to redshirt. So is Henry, because we have this whole class here of seniors that came in with all those wideouts. They're all here too. Barrett's an 89, 87, 87, 82. Miller is a freshman that's converted. He's 78. And then we have the safeties here, Sisk, Black, and Lacey. Sisk is going to start. Black is not. So we have 3 good ones. And then this is probably my most controversial thing that I'm going to do here. I do not do this very often, is to redshirt a guy this deep into their playing career here. Evan Favors is an 86 overall true junior. I start Cameron White. He's an 85. I like the awareness. I like the size profile a little bit more. I like the tackling ability just a touch more. And he does seem to make plays when I ask him to make plays. Evan Favors has the tools to be a starter, but I think he's going to have to wait. I have 3 good free safeties, including Antavius Black here, who can play the backup role to the strong safety. So I'm actually going to have Black be the backup to White. Don't read too much into that. So Black's going to back up White, and we'll go from there. I think that's fine. That gives us an extra year of Favors and gives him a chance to start in this defense. Maybe not next year, but the year after in 2017, if he sticks around, he might be the starter there. Punter and kicker, that's all the same. So those are going to be my red shirts. Let's go into the roster here. I just want to take a look at the schedule here. 9-5 and 12, 9-19, which means we got 9-26, 10-3. So I just want to make sure there's no more like weird games. We do go to Folsom Field on Halloween. That feels ominous. We got Kansas State, Colorado, 21-28. So we're playing every game's on Saturday. I only look at that because every once in a while with Conference USA to get some really wonky games. There was one year where I had a game on August 30th and also had one on September 2nd. So it was like a 4-day difference. I'm like, what is going on? It was really bizarre. So we avoid that this year. We're preseason number 3. Let's go ahead, take a look at our coach options. You'll take a look. We're 96 and 30 through 10 years. Opening weekends, why we love you. This is the last year of my contract. I'm assuming they're going to give me an extension. You never know, but I'm assuming they are. So we'll see what happens with that. Let's go ahead and get into our roster here, and specifically our depth chart. I'm going to put Clark here. I'm going to put Clemens as the backup. This is the move. This is going to be kind of the shocker. I will put Eric Clark there. We're going to have Brown start instead of Hart. Salas will be the 3, Bonnet the 4. Ostrom, Bozeman's your reserve fullback, and White behind him. Wide receiver. I'm tossing this idea around of having Caraway be the 2. I think it's Josh Moore's turn. 98 acceleration, 90 catch, 94 jump at 6'4". He's got those tools there with 84 awareness. But Trey Caraway had another leap in the offseason. 97 speed, 98 jump, 94 acceleration, 91 catch. I think he's got the tools to be just as good, if not better. They're both from Oklahoma. Chisholm is my 3. I'm still kind of debating on this one as well, because Casimir Walker's speed is so good. I don't know if I want another year of Chisholm as the 4. He's good enough to be the 3, but he's so big. All 3 of these guys are 6'4" and above, but someone's going to get left out. I think the answer is that it's going to be Casimir Walker. I think Trey Caraway should be wide receiver 2. So that's a disappointment probably for Chisholm and Walker, but Caraway's a year younger. He has all the talent, and then if he doesn't have a super breakout year this year, the guy's going to be a god among men next year. So I have more Caraway, Chisholm, Walkers, my 1 through 4. You're going to have Anderson and Jones behind them. I like Anderson a little bit better than Jones. Jones didn't have a great offseason of training. McCoy's going to come back as your tight end. He's a redshirt senior, 96. Briggs Boseman's only a 93. McCoy had a really interesting year last year. Only had 8 catches, but over 300 yards. Half of his catches were for touchdowns. So we ended up getting some recognition in Conference USA. O-line, everyone's above the 90. I think we go 97, 91, 91, 90, and 94. So we're really solid there again. We're going to have Coyote Brown on the left side. We're going to have Barnes on the right side. So we're going to flip those with Dixon and Mosley behind them. Bridges and Cooper are your 1-2. Baraka Bridges, tell you what, 92 overall. This guy was a 2-star, 68 overall coming into the program. Has really taken a significant step and is going to have, in my opinion, a very big year. Year behind him, Shakarius Cooper really showed out towards the end of last year. Really enjoyed his development. Jericho Henderson right behind is the reserve. Barksdale is the redshirt. He's the kid from Iowa, so now he gets to go play. Well, actually he won't, because we took Iowa State's place, but he'll be playing in very Iowa adjacent region. So good for Barksdale. I did not notice they are both 78 overall. I have not compared the two. Is Barksdale a slightly better player with worse awareness? That does appear to be the case. That's interesting. 6'0", 303 versus 6'5", 295. Obviously, Barksdale's a little bit taller. He's a little bit stronger. He's got better tackling. He's faster. He has worse awareness. Generally have that issue. Play the kid with worse awareness because he has more talent, because the awareness will come. So Barksdale is going to be our 3. Henderson will be our 4, despite putting up, had 12 tackles and a sack last year. So that's going to be the 4 that we roll with. And of course, we have one of the defensive ends, 6'5", 284, Janari Dixon behind him. Moving on, linebacker Xavier Franklin is going to be that starting left outside linebacker. He's going to be an impact player. Cade White's behind him, and Dupree Hawkins. Raheem Scott, he's back. He's forced to be back. Very excited about him. Cade White behind. And then Chase Banks gets a chance to start. We'll see how he does. Corner, Barrett. Johnson's my 2. I might flip those 2. I'm not sure yet. I think Johnson was my 1 last year. So I think, we got a Johnson 1, Barrett 2, Poland 3, Essex 4. Perfect. Sisk and black. White and black. And then you got your kicker punter. Casimir Walker, he's your kicker punt returner. I have Anderson behind him as the other one, 97 with 92 agility, 92 acceleration. If I wasn't playing Caraway as the number 2 wide receiver, I would have him here, because he's elite. He's super elite. But as it is, we'll put Anderson there. Garcia is still our kick specialist, and then we'll have a reserve center. So we're going to roll the true freshman in our first year in the Big 12. Maybe that's not a good idea. I don't know. I could always change my mind. We'll find out. But this is how it's going to look. We're pretty excited for game 1. And we'll move forward. What can the kid from Ohio do in the Big 12? Thanks so much for watching. And we'll see you for UTEP. Take care.